Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing great. I am Neha Rajvanshi and I welcome you all in today's class, that is English class of class 8th. So students, in the previous video we have completed reading with our chapter number 1 from the book Honeydew. The name of the chapter is The Best Christmas Present in the World, and I am very much sure that the chapter is clear to you all the 3 parts of the chapter, everything is clear to you all. And in today's video we will see the comprehension part, we will solve the questions that are there in the chapter. So let's begin. Question first, what did the author find in a junk shop? So in this question students, we have to write about the thing that the author, or we can say the narrator, he found in the junk shop. So let's see the answer. The author found a roll top desk for sale in a junk shop. It was made of oak wood, but it was in a very bad condition. So the thing that attracted author's attention in the junk shop was a roll top desk. So we can write that the author, he found a roll top desk that was for sale in a junk shop, and that desk, it was made of oak wood, but yes, it was in a very bad condition. Next question, what did he find in a secret drawer? Who do you think had put it in there? And in this question, first of all, we have to write that the narrator, when he was trying to open the drawers of the desk, so what did he find in the secret drawer that was there in the roll top desk? And next we have to write the answer, that according to us, what do we think that who put that thing inside that secret drawer? So let's see the answer. In the secret drawer of the desk, the author found a small tin box. It had a letter in it. So first of all, we are writing that what was the thing that the narrator, he found inside the secret drawer. So the thing that was inside the secret drawer, it was a small tin box, and in that tin box there was a letter. And secondly, we are writing that who put that letter there. So we can write that I think the owner of the roll top desk might have put it there. So according to us, it was the owner of the roll top desk. So maybe he has put that letter inside that secret drawer. Next question, who had written the letter, to whom and when? And in this question we have to answer so many things about that letter. That first of all, who had written that letter, second, to whom, and third, when. So let's see the answer. Jim McPherson, a captain in the British Army, had written that letter dated December 26, 1914 to his wife Connie. So first of all, who wrote that letter? It was Jim McPherson, that was a captain in the British Army. He was the person who wrote that letter. Secondly, whom? So answer is to his wife Connie. And third is when. So when did he write? He wrote this letter on December 26, 1914. Next question, why was the letter written? What was the wonderful thing that had happened? In this question we have to write about that wonderful thing that had happened. We have to write that why this letter was written, what was the reason, or we can say what was the wonderful thing that Jim McPherson, he just wanted to share with his wife. Okay, so let's see the answer. The letter described a wonderful event. So the reason that why this letter was written, it was written to describe a very wonderful, amazing thing. The two armies, the British and the German, fighting against each other, celebrated Christmas together. And what is that amazing thing? What is that wonderful thing? It was that two armies, that are British and German armies, who were fighting with each other, who were fighting against each other in that World War I. They celebrated Christmas together, they enjoyed together, they had fun time together. This was the wonderful thing that Jim McPherson, he just wanted to share with his wife. Next question, what jobs did Hans Wolf and Jim McPherson have when they were not soldiers? So in this question we have to write about Hans Wolf and Jim McPherson's jobs. Okay, so we all know who this person is. Hans Wolf, he is the officer of German army, and Jim McPherson, he is the officer of British army. So we have to write about their jobs when they were not soldiers. So let's see the answer. Before joining the army, Hans, he played the cello in the orchestra, and Jim, he was a teacher. So first of all, what was the job of Hans Wolf? He used to play the cello, that is a kind of musical instrument in the orchestra, and Jim McPherson, he was a teacher before joining the army. Next question, had Hans Wolf ever been to Dorset? Why did he say he knew it? So in this question, first of all, we have to write that Hans Wolf, had he ever been to Dorset? Dorset, it is in England. So we have to write that Hans Wolf, had he ever been to this place? Have he ever been to Dorset? Secondly, we have to write that why did he say that he know about this place, that is Dorset? So let's see the answer. No, Hans had never been to Dorset. So first of all, our answer is that no, Hans Wolf, never ever he had been to Dorset, never ever he had been to England. He had learned all he knew of England from school and from reading books in English. So why he was saying that he knew that place Dorset? So the reason that whatever he knew about Dorset, whatever he knew about England, so everything he learned from his school, everything he learned from reading books in English. So yes, he knew about Dorset and England, but never ever he been there. So we can say that yes, he knew a lot of things about Dorset, so many things about England, but never ever he had been to Dorset, never ever he had been to England. Next question, do you think Jim McPherson came back from the war? How do you know this? So in this question, we have to write our viewpoint. What do we think that according to us, Jim McPherson, was he able to come back home after the war? And whatever our answer is, we have to justify our answer. We have to write the reason that why we are saying so. If we are saying that yes, he was able to come back home, so we have to write the reasons that why we are saying so. And if our answer is that no, he was not able to come back home, again we have to justify our answer. Again we have to give the reasons to support our answer. So students, you can write your own answer here. What do you think according to you? You know क्या हुआ होगा, क्या वो वापस आया होगा या नहीं आया होगा? So after reading the chapter, what is your idea? What is there in your mind that you can write here, right? But just remember, you have to support your answer. You have to justify your answer by giving the reasons that why you are saying so, why you are thinking so. So let's see how can we write. No, Jim McPherson never came back home from the war. So after reading the chapter, we can say that no, Jim McPherson, he was not able to come back home after the war. Perhaps therefore his wife Connie had preserved his letter, and maybe this is the reason that Connie McPherson, Mrs. Jim McPherson, she preserved that letter. Okay, that letter was so precious for her. The tin box that the narrator found had Jim's last letter written on it, which means he wrote no letter after this. And to support our answer, we can write that the tin box that the narrator he found inside that secret drawer. So on that tin box, it was written Jim's last letter. It means that was the last letter that was written by Jim McPherson, and after that letter he never write again any letter. So we can say that he did not come back home from war. He was not able to come back home after the war. Next question, why did the author go to Bridport? So in this question, we have to write the reason, that what was the reason that the narrator, or we can say the author, he went to this place, that is Bridport. So what was the reason why he went to Bridport? So let's see the answer. The author went to Bridport to meet Mrs. Jim McPherson and deliver to her Jim's letter. So the reason is very obvious, very clear. The author went to Bridport boat just to meet Mrs. Jim McPherson because he wanted to deliver, he wanted to return, he wanted to give the last letter that was written by Jim McPherson to Mrs. Jim McPherson. So just to deliver that letter, just to return that letter, he went to Bridgeport. Next question, how old was Mrs. McPherson now? Where was she? So in this question, first of all, we have to write Mrs. McPherson's age, that how old she is now, and secondly, we have to write that where was she as of now. So let's see the answer. Mrs. McPherson was 101 years old. So what is the age of Mrs. McPherson? She is 101 years old. She was in a nursing home, Burlington House, on the Dorchester Road, on the other side of town. And now we are writing that where she is now. So as of now, she is in a nursing home. The name of the nursing home is Burlington House. It is on the Dorchester Road, that is on the other side of the town. Why? Because her house where she used to live, that house caught fire because of some accident. So now she is in one of the nursing home, that is Burlington House. Next question, who did Connie McPherson think her visitor was? So in this question, we have to write that when the narrator, when he was there in that nursing house, when he was there to visit Mrs. McPherson, so at that time, Connie McPherson, what did she think that who the visitor was? So according to Mrs. McPherson, who that visitor was, who the narrator was? So let's see the answer. Connie thought that the visitor was her own husband, that is Jim McPherson. So we can say because of old age, because of memory loss, Connie McPherson, or we can say Mrs. Jim McPherson, she thought that the visitor, the narrator, he was her own husband, that is Jim McPherson. Next question, which sentence in the text shows that the visitor did not try to hide his identity? In this question, we have to pick sentences from the text, from the chapter. We have to write those sentences that actually shows that the visitor, who is the visitor? The narrator. So we have to pick out the sentences that show that the narrator, he did not try to hide his real identity. Okay, so we have to write those sentences here that support this thing, that he did not try to hide his real identity. So let's see the answer. That sentence, so we are writing the sentence, I explained about the desk, about how I had found it, but I don't think she was listening. For a while she said nothing but stroked the letter tenderly with her fingertips. So this is the sentence that actually shows that he was not doing any effort to to hide his identity, because yes, he explained each and everything. He explained about the desk, he explained that how he found that letter, but when he was explaining, when he was telling, when he was speaking, at that time Mrs. McPherson, she was not at all listening. Why? Because she was completely lost in that letter. So she was having no interest that what the narrator is saying, what the visitor was saying. This shows that the narrator was trying hard to explain everything, but Mrs. McPherson didn't pay attention to his words. So Mrs. McPherson, her entire focus, her entire concentration was there on the letter. So when the narrator, when he was explaining each and everything, when he was telling about each and everything, at that time Mrs. McPherson, she was not at all listening, because she was having no interest at what he was speaking, what he was saying. So we can say that yes, the narrator, he was trying very hard to explain everything, but Mrs. McPherson, she was not paying any attention. She was having no interest at what he was speaking. Next question, for how long do you think Connie had kept Jim's letter? Give reasons for your answer. So in this question, first of all, we have to write that what do we think. Again, according to us, we have to write that for how long Connie, she had kept Jim's letter. So what do we think, what is our idea, that we can write here. But again, we have to give reasons for our answer. We have to support, we have to justify our answer. later. So students, again you can use your creativity here, that after reading the chapter, what is your idea, what is there in your mind, that for how long Connie she had kept that letter. But again you have to justify your answer, you have to give reasons to support your answer. So let's see how can we write. Connie had kept Jim's letter for a long period of time. So we can say that Connie or Mrs. Jim McPherson, she had kept Jim's last letter for a very long period of time. From the story we can say that she possessed it until the house caught fire, and after reading the story we can say that she was having this letter until the house in which she was living, that house caught fire. As the author found it in the partially burnt roll top desk, because the narrator, when he found that letter, when he found that tin box inside जिसमें वो लेटर था, so वो भी उनको कहाँ मिला था, he found that letter in the partially burnt roll top desk. so वो जो desk थी वो भी partially burnt थी. why? because उस घर में आग लगी थी, घर के सारे फर्नीचर जो थे वो डिस्ट्रॉय हो गए थे, और इसी रीज़न से जो रोल टॉप डेस्क थी वो भी डिस्ट्रॉय हो चुकी थी, और उसी डेस्क के अंदर से द नरेटर ही फाउंड दैट लेटर. It was the fire that separated her from that letter. So we can say that it was the fire that finally separated Connie from that precious letter. The letter was very precious for her, so she kept it very carefully, always near to her, and it was the last letter written by her husband. So it was very special for her, it was very precious for her, and this was the reason always she used to keep that letter near to her. Next question, why do you think the desk had been sold and when? In this question we have to write that what do we think when, why this desk, that roll top desk, it had been sold and when. So let's see the answer. The desk must have been sold when Connie's house had burned. So we can say that maybe this desk it had been sold when Connie's house it had burned, when it caught fire. The table had been damaged by fire as well as water. And how can we say this? Because the table, that roll top desk, it was destroyed, it was damaged because of fire and as well as water. So you all remember that in the chapter we have read that the narrator, when he was repairing the desk, the table, at that time he found that the upper layer of the table it was pulling out, right? वो हर जगह से हट चुकी थी. So at that time he thought that it was the water damage, okay? और water damage कैसे हुआ होगा? Because when the firefighters were there, firemen were there who were trying to put out the fire, so they were using water. So because of water वो जो damage था वो हुआ था. So ये जो table थी it was damaged by fire and as well as water, okay? So this can be right here that maybe after that incident this table को sold किया गया था. Next question, why do Jim and Hans think that games or sports are good ways of resolving conflicts? Do you agree? So in this question, first of all, we have to write the reason, that what is the reason that Jim McPherson and Hans Wolf, they think that games and sports, they are better option to resolve all the conflicts, all the dispute, okay? So rather than war, sports and games, they are better option to resolve all the dispute. Why? What is the reason that they think so? And again we have to write our viewpoint, that what do we think, are we agree with this opinion, okay? So we can write to this the answer. Let's see. Both Jim and Hans, they were soldiers. So we know that Jim and Hans Wolf, they are soldiers, they are officers. In fact, both were warm hearted, and both the person, they are very warm hearted. They had seen the sufferings of war, so it was natural for them to hate war. And now because they are soldiers, so they are very much aware about the sufferings of war, they are very much aware about the consequences of war, and this is the reason they actually hate this word, that is war. They favored a peaceful solution to settle disputes, and they are having all the idea about the consequences, about the suffering of war, कि क्या result होते हैं war के, and this is the reason they always favored a peaceful solution to settle all the dispute, to settle all kinds of things. Games or sports, they said, were good ways of resolving conflict, and I also quite agree with them. And according to them, games or sports, they are better option. Why? Because game और sports की वजह से कोई भी child जो है वो orphan नहीं होता, कोई भी जो lady है वो widow नहीं होती, right? कोई भी अपने parents को नहीं खोता, कोई parents अपने बच्चों को नहीं खोते हैं, किसी की death नहीं होती है. So because of all these reasons, games and sports, they are better option to resolve all kinds of dispute. And yes, we also agree with this thing, because war, they are not at all beneficial for anyone, okay? And obviously peaceful situation, they are much better than war. Next question, do you think the soldiers of the two armies are like each other or different from each other? Find evidence from the story to support your answers. In this question, first of all, we have to discuss that the soldiers of the two armies, so these two armies are British army and German army. So we have to write that the soldiers of these two army, are they like each other or are they different from each other? So we are giving with two options, and we have to choose one option, that the soldiers of two armies, were they different from each other or were they like each other? And again we have to give some kind of evidence to support our answer. We have to write some proof from the story to support our answer. So let's see. All human beings are like in many ways. So we can say that to all the human beings in this entire world, they are similar, they are alike in many ways. They love peace and hate war, and all the human beings, they have special feeling, they have they like peace, they love peace, and all the human beings, they hate war, they hate violence. They want to live together, and they all just want one thing, they want peace, they want to harmony, they just want to live with each other. Examples from the story, and now we can write some evidence, some examples, some instances from the story. So we can write, I wished Hans well and told him I hoped he would see his family again soon, that the fighting would end and we could all go home. So when the the narrator, or we can say the writer of that letter, that is Jim McPherson, so when he wished Hans Wolf well, and he also told him that he was having this hope that very soon he will be able to meet with his family, very soon this war, this fighting, it would end, and very soon they all would go back their home. I think that is what every soldier wants on both sides, Hans Wolf said. So at that, Hans Wolf, he also agreed with this thing, and he said that yes, all the soldiers, okay, all the army, everyone want this thing only. Both sides of soldiers played a friendly match, enjoyed eating and drinking together, talked with love and affection, and agreed on so many things. And we can write this thing also, that the soldiers of both the armies, both sides, they actually had a very good time. They played a friendly football match, they enjoyed eating and drinking together, they shared their stuff with each other, they talked with love and affection, they were talking, they were laughing, right? And they were having same opinion because they agreed on so many things. So we can say that they were like each other only with no difference. So because of all these reasons, we can conclude this thing that yes, there were no difference and they were alike, they were similar, they were same. Okay. Next question, mention the various ways in which the British and the German soldiers become friends and find things in common at Christmas. So in this question, we have to mention, we have to write the various ways, the different ways in which the British soldiers and the German soldiers, they become friends. Okay, so how can we say that they were having a friendly relationship, they were having peaceful relationship, they were having love for each other? Okay, that we have have to write, and we have to also find things that are common, okay, at the time of Christmas celebration. So let's see the answer. The British and the German soldiers belonged to different camps. So first of all, they were enemy to each other. One side they were British army, other side they were German army. So they belong to different camps, they belong to different countries. They were enemies in war time and they were fighting against each other. They were enemies in that war time, but after all they were human beings and therefore they had similar feelings. So we can say that yes, they were soldiers, they were enemies, but after all, first of all, they were human beings, and because being a human being, they all were same, they all were just alike, and they all were having similar feelings, similar emotions. They shared the festive spirit of the Christmas, and together they celebrated Christmas. They shared the festivity of Christmas. They got over hatred and played games, feasted and drank like good friends, and on that celebration, just to celebrate Christmas, they just got over hatred, they just got over that kind of feeling that they are enemies, and together they played game, together they enjoyed eating and drinking just like good friends. Both hated war, and one more similar thing was there, one more common feature was there, that both side of armies, both side of soldiers, they hated war, they hated violence. Both were anxious to go back to their families at the end of war, and they were having similar feeling, they were having similar desire, and that desire was that they just wanted to go back home, they just wanted to go back to their families after this war. So we can say that yes, they were enemies, they were fighting against each other, but first of all they were human beings, and this is the reason there were so many common features, there were so many similarities, and there were so many common feelings and common emotions that they were having. Next question, what is Connie's Christmas present? Why is it the best Christmas present in the world? In this question, first of all, we have to write about the Christmas present, that what was this Christmas present, and second, we have to write the reason that why it was the best Christmas present in the world. So let's see the answer. Connie thought that Jim had come back home from war. So when Connie, when she was having the letter, okay, when the narrator was there, so at that time Connie, she thought that it was Jim McPherson, it was her husband, and finally her husband had come back home from a war. She mistook the author for Jim, and why? Because she was very old, she was having memory loss, okay, because of this reason she mistook the author, she mistook the narrator to be her husband. She had been waiting for her husband Jim, and for a very long time she had been waiting for her husband Jim McPherson. So the coming home of Jim was the best Christmas present in the world for her. So when finally, according to her, when her husband was at home, when her husband was back from the war, so obviously it was the best Christmas present for her in the entire world. Next question, do you think the title of the story is suitable for it? Can you think of any other titles? In this question, first of all, we have to discuss about the suitability of this title, that the title of the story, is it suitable, is it perfect or not? And second, we have to give some suggestions, we have to write some other titles that can be apt for this story also. So let's see, first of all we are writing that decidedly the title of the story is most suitable. So first of all we are writing about the title, that is it suitable or not, and we can say that yes, there is no doubt in this thing that this title, it is the most suitable one, it is the most perfect one. For the old Connie, no other present could have given her such a joy as the coming home of Jim, her husband, because that letter that she was having, it was really the best Christmas present for her, because for old Connie, no other present in this entire world could have given her such joy, such happiness as she was having at that time, when according to her, it was her husband Jim McPherson who had come back from a war. her perception might be wrong, but she got the greatest happiness of her life. So at that time her perception might be wrong. Why it was wrong? Because she was thinking that the narrator is her husband. So yes, her perception was wrong, it was not her husband, but she was having the greatest happiness. Her greatest happiness were beyond a limit. Since the story revolves around Christmas, the alternate title of the story could be War and Peace or Christmas Gift. Now we are giving some suggestions of some other title. So we can write that since this story it revolves around Christmas, so we can write some title like War and Peace, or we can write Christmas Gift. And students, you can write your own answer here, right? You can write your own suggestions here, but neither can be a match to the present title. But at the same time, again we are repeating this thing that we can give some suggestions, some alternative, but इसमें से कोई भी alternative जो है वो present title के equally match नहीं हो सकता, because this title it is the best one, it is the most suitable title for this story, because yes, that gift it was the best Christmas present for Connie, because yes, according to her it was her husband who had come back from war, and because of that she was having the greatest happiness, and her happiness it was beyond the limit. So yes, it was the most suitable title for the story. So students, we have completed all the questions here. I hope the chapter, the message, the meaning of the chapter and all the question answers, everything is clear to you all. In the next video, we will start reading with our next poem. See you in the next video. Thank you.